Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are getting into a problem that I think every single founder listening to this will recognize.
Oh, absolutely.
It's that feeling of being just constantly busy, but not actually moving forward in any meaningful way.
The great founder paradox.
Yeah.
You can set these huge, ambitious annual targets. But, setting the goal is the easy part.
It really is.
The consistent execution, that's where most people get stuck.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to figure out why that follow-through fails and, more importantly, how accountability systems are the real engine for momentum.
Right. And the sources call this the momentum trap, which I think is a perfect name for it.
The momentum trap. So what is that exactly?
Well, goals give you direction, they give you a map. But without accountability, there's no engine in the car.
You're just sitting there.
You're just sitting there relying entirely on motivation. And we all know how reliable that is.
Yeah, I see this mistake all the time in the research. Founders will set these big quarterly goals, they whiteboard them, they get excited.
And then nothing.
And then nothing. They completely fail to build that weekly or daily bridge to actually get there.
And that has a huge strategic cost. The sources call it the strategy leak. When you don't track your progress in real time, you just don't learn.
So you don't know why you're off track until it's way too late.
Exactly. You end up just spinning your wheels, doing the wrong things faster instead of the right things consistently. It's not about just forgetting a task. It's about slow, expensive learning.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Let's pivot to the solution. How do we build this engine that guarantees we actually follow through?
The sources give us a really clear four-part blueprint for it.
And it starts with precision, right? Getting super clear on the metrics.
Yes. Step one is to define clear metrics and not just vague intentions like get better at marketing.
Right. It has to be a measurable outcome.
And this is the key distinction. You have to separate activity from outcome. So instead of post 5 blog posts, which is an activity,
You'd focus on something like generate 100 qualified leads from our content, an actual result.
precisely. Next, you have to set checkpoints.
Yeah.
These are non-negotiable weekly or bi-weekly reviews to force reflection.
But hold on, doesn't that just add more meetings to an already packed schedule?
Yeah.
Isn't that part of the busyness we're trying to escape?
It is if it's just a status update, but these checkpoints have to be laser-focused on only 2 questions. Are we on track? And what roadblocks do we need to remove right now?
Got it. So it's about problem solving, not just reporting.
Then the third step is to assign responsibility. Accountability has to be specific. Someone has to own each action item.
Whether that's you, a team member, or even an external coach.
And once that's clear, the final piece is visual tracking.
Using things like dashboards or progress charts, something to make the performance undeniable.
And what's fascinating here is that visual tracking works because it plays on our psychology. It turns an abstract goal into hard data that you can't just, rationalize away.
You can't argue with a big red line on a chart.
You really can't. It forces you to act on facts, not just optimism.
So once you've built the system, how do you embed it into your daily routine so it becomes a habit?
It starts with daily micro check-ins, just a quick 2-minute review at the end of the day. What did I accomplish? What are my top priorities for tomorrow?
And for teams,
For teams, it's about having dedicated team accountability meetings. And again, these are for openly sharing progress and attacking roadblocks together.
that feedback loop is so important. And part of that is celebrating the wins, right?
Well, you have to. You have to celebrate milestones. It's not just for morale. Recognizing progress actually reinforces the habit of consistent execution.
And all that data you're gathering lets you adjust and iterate your strategy based on what's actually working, not just guesswork.
Exactly.
This has been a fantastic deep dive. I think the core insight for you listening is clear. Accountability is the engine behind every goal. You have to stop relying on motivation and start building systems that track progress and create real responsibility.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, systems, not willpower alone, are what create truly unstoppable progress. Just imagine for a second what your business's growth could look like this quarter if consistent execution wasn't a choice, but was simply built into the machine you've created. That's the real advantage.